Yes, we all know Bobi Wine started his freedom tour 2 weeks back in Mbarara and ended in Ruero. He traversed most parts of the country under this tour. And the main aim of this freedom tour was to wake the masses up so that they can stand for their fundamental rights. After finishing this first phase of his freedom tour, he embarked to meet his diaspora team. Under this strategy, he first started in Canada, where he met change-seeking forces for more than 3 days. Then he decided to go to United States of America, where he is holding a freedom concert. But when Bobi Wine finished his first phase of freedom tour, the police came out with an order that it is banning all other tours which are going to be organized by the NUP principle. And this came to be known when the police spokesperson Fred Enanga came out with these orders.
They have defiantly continued to indicate that they are going to proceed with the second phase, but they must be aware that as the police, we have a duty to police public meetings.
When the police came out with these orders, the NUP principle and the entire leadership of the National Unity Platform vowed not to obey these illegal orders, and saying that they are going to continue with their tour after Bobi Wine coming back.
Nedda twabawandikira kubategeeza kubanga tewali tteeka lyonna mu mateeka ga Uganda litwetaagisa kusaba lukusa poliisi okukola bye tulina okukola. Mu statement ya Mwami Kasigazi yeefudde awera ebikolwa ebiri mu mateeka eby'ekibiina ekyobukulembeze ekiri mu mateeka. Tetugenda kugondera biragiro byonna bya bumenyi bw'amateeka.
So in this episode, I've come to talk about the plan which was laid down by the government to effect this, what it means in the body politic of our country, and most importantly, what we can learn from the politics of our nation. But before I do this, I want to let you know that if you are new to this channel, please subscribe. And if you're watching this video from a different platform, please head on to YouTube, type in Sula Mawagali. There is a lot of content of this nature. If your politics and economics is what you want, this will be definitely the right channel for you to subscribe to. I dedicate this video to the political prisoner Olivier Rutaya, who has been in incarceration for more than 3 years. We all know the first phase was so successful that it attracted a lot of masses and a lot of public debate in all mainstream media. So there is a video, a tape, when the General MUSEVENI was also adding on, confirming what the police spokesperson said. In fact, General MUSEVENI said that the people who always come out to riot when Bobi Wine is caught must not do this again. Let me first play you the tape when General MUSEVENI is talking about this before you proceed.
The idea that Honorable Kyagulanyi or any politician is untouchable because he's a politician, and if police legitimately arrest him, there will be riots, is not acceptable and must never be repeated. Is not acceptable and must never be repeated.
So we all remember the reason as to why General MUSEVENI is saying this statement is because there is a time Bobi Wine was arrested in Arua by-election and guns were put in his hotel room. Okay, the aim of this was to take Bobi Wine in the military court so that he can spend a lot of time there. Because as you know, the military court has always been used as a kangaroo court to subdue opposition leaders. At least every person who has contested with MUSEVENI has ever gone to the military court, from Besigye, Bobi Wine, to Mukunde, and many more. So when people came out on the streets from Uganda and Europe and some parts of Asia, the pressure was put on the Ugandan government and Bobi Wine was released. The same happened when Bobi Wine was arrested in Ruuka in the middle of an election, and Ugandans all over the world rioted and Bobi Wine was released. many questions are arising. If General Museveni is coming out to say that if Bobi Wine is arrested legitimately, people always come out to riot, which is not true. Opposition leaders, since we opened up multi-party politics, they have been arrested. They have always been arrested illegally. We all remember when Besigye was arrested and trumped-up charges were put against him that he raped a girl. Okay? And we all remember even when Besigye was court-martialed, 99.9% of all cases which have been put on opposition leaders have not seen the light of the day in courts, which means the government always put trumped-up charges on opposition leaders. So the General Museveni cannot come out to say that people riot whenever leaders are arrested legitimately, because leaders have never been arrested legitimately. I remember when Besigye was slapped with a fine of driving recklessly. Yes, yet he was not a driver. He was sitting in his car with his driver. But the police slapped fines on him that he was driving recklessly without him driving. So being opposition in Uganda is not a safe place, because the government always puts up charges on opposition leaders just to drill them or to drain them. So General Museveni cannot come out to say that these leaders are arrested legitimately. That's why even the many cases which are always put on opposition figureheads, there is no case which was conducted and it convicted these people. So I think the plan is that General Museveni is trying to set up a base, because the statements which are made by the head of a particular state do not just come out of the blue. For me, I see these statements as orders to his security organs that they must be prepared to arrest Bobi Wine when he comes back to the country to embark on his freedom tour. So when shall our democracy grow? When shall General Museveni see people in the opposition as humans? These statements of General Museveni must be taken with a pinch of salt. They are aimed at setting up a base on how Bobi Wine is going to be arrested, and is trying to preempt what may happen after the security forces arresting Bobi Wine. That's why for the past few arrests, Bobi Wine would be taken back home, because they tested what would happen after them putting up trumped-up charges on him. Even up to now, very many young men and women are still languishing in prison. They are always brought to military courts, whereby the High Court passed a judgment saying that the military courts are not supposed to try civilians, in which the Attorney General Chiriwa Chiwanuka appealed against the court order, against the court judgment. It is so unfortunate that a civilian can be taken to a military court, that 100 people were holding one bullet. Can you imagine? So for me, I think these statements which were made by the head of states are aimed at preparing the security forces to arrest the opposition leader, the people's president, His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Bobi Wine. Of course, that is my opinion. You can also tell me what you think by commenting on this video. Thank you very much for listening in. If this is your first time on this YouTube channel, I implore you to subscribe, like, and comment so that I can be motivated to do more of such videos. Peace.